So before I get into analyzing the tickers, I'm just going to take a quick look at SPY, the Sp500 ETF, and where we stand. This level right here, 432.94, this has been called a critical level by a bunch of analysts because it is a previous weekly level. I personally don't think it's a critical level because we are always in all-time highs. There's not a lot of support up here. This is basically, yes, probably the only support that we have up here. So far, this looks like it may have held. We may have bounced off of it yesterday, but for today, the likely scenario is a daily inside bar. And for those that don't know, a daily inside bar would be, so I'll just remove this for now, would be when the body of today's candle is within the body of yesterday's candle. So we are not setting, in a daily inside bar, we're not setting a higher high or a lower low, and we're not really giving any clues to direction. So a daily inside bar is not going to let us know what's going to happen from here, but it will give us a nice range to watch for the following day. So this would be our range should we have closed the market right now. So in the morning, I saw some clues here on SPY that would make me not be looking at getting any type of hedge today. So this was actually last night. We had some high volume candles here, and if you see down here the volume bars, this is 6 million shares being purchased. So this is more than just retail volume when we're looking at after hours here. So this is big money. So this was clues that we might be looking at possibly recovering a little bit today on SPY. So in the morning, since then, we opened up. We haven't gotten over our pre-market highs, so we really haven't showed that we are recovering yet, but this isn't something that we can expect to happen immediately. We've got a little bit of possible head and shoulders happening here on the hourly. So just watching to see if we can hold this level right now. QS. Now I started a position here this morning. I have been watching us pull back from this big move that we had a few days ago. Of course, wishing that I had got into that entry, but it doesn't matter. Just keep an eye on it and look for the next entry. Well, we got some support from the SMA100 here, I noticed yesterday. So I was watching this morning to see what was going to happen on the pre-market, and here you can see we had bounced off of the SMA100 again, and we were getting some volume, so that had me interested. And then I started watching the pre-market if we were going to get over the pre-market, and we did, and volume continued coming in. So that is when I entered at 26.01. I'm scaling in, but I did want to get into that position in case we did start running, and that is my smallest position where I add the first one. And now I'm looking at the chart about half an hour later, and it looks like I might have an opportunity to add some more lower. But what I'm looking for at this point is to see if we can set a low of the day first. I don't need to get the bottom of the day because I want to make sure that I'm not basically going to enter before other opportunities to get better prices. So I'm going to wait and watch a little bit for us to start to change that 5-minute trend back, and then I will add my second add to this position. RXT, I just wanted to take a look at this one. I had analyzed it about a week and a half ago, and here are some drawings which I have on the chart. I'm going to just turn these moving averages off because I want you to see the drawings here. So I had said that it was a good setup as we were getting into this gap, and then we broke into it, pulled back again, broke into it, pulled back again. So we've basically been pulling back on market weakness, and there's this 1431 level that I'm watching closely. So if anybody's looking to get into this one, you can tell that we keep on trying to get past this 1431 level and we reject it. So this would be a good spot to start a position if we were to get through that 1431 level with some momentum. ZM. I had taken a look at this a while ago and it did look bearish, and yes, we have continued downwards. It's a young chart. We don't even have this SMA 100 on the weekly to look at, but just looking at the daily here, we just continue to move down. But at this point, we're daily oversold. The RSI, you can see it's bottom left, but when I move my mouse, you can't tell, but so there it is, it's 25 on the daily. On the weekly, we are not quite oversold. We need to be under 30 to be oversold. So if anybody's looking to get into this for an oversold bounce, I'd be looking somewhere around this 239 level. And at this point, we would likely be getting weekly oversold. An aggressive bull could start to scale in before that, put a smaller position and just keep adding as we dip. But the RSI isn't oversold enough, and we'll likely just continue to dip unless there's some news or some sort of catalyst that can drive this price up before we get weekly oversold. BABA, I had charted this a couple of weeks ago and it was looking pretty bearish then. I did find a weekly support level that we could look to, but unfortunately we broke that level. So basically we have just continued to move down, and we're still in the same position where we're trying to figure out when BABA is going to stop moving down. So basically we can start to analyze some of the technical factors here. If we look at the weekly, we are oversold here. The RSI is under 30. So that is when we can start looking at the possibility of having a bounce. We're not daily oversold or 4 hour or 1 hour. So nothing points to the bounce being imminent. So we now look at other things, like we start to look at support. So when I'm looking for support, I want to look at the longer time frames, like the monthly and the weekly time frames. So if we look at the monthly, we can just see it's just been constant bears since we hit our top over here. I ran the fibs on this move. Now this move, I'm starting down here because we can see right off this move is when we started to, right off these red candles is when we just started to completely skyrocket to the top, and we've been pulling back ever since. So this is really a move that I'm measuring, trying to measure the retracement that we would have from the top of this move. So looking at the fibs, we have pulled back right here to the 23.6 level, which is common to pull back off of big moves. Now it's possible that we continue down and just ignore this fibs level, but this is a level that is something that if anybody is interested in BABA that they can be looking at. So I'm just going to remove that fibs from the chart for now. And then these other two levels that I found here are, so this top level 144.57, this is last week's low. Now we haven't even gone beyond that. So for bulls, that's a pretty good sign. If we're not making a lower low yet, we still have the rest of the week to see if we can set a higher high. So that's the other level that I'm going to be watching in conjunction with the fibs level. And then if we break these two levels, then I'll be looking to this strong support level that I found here, 130.06. You can see this is repeated monthly support. And that's a strong level that we can be watching for. If we do dip to that area, I will definitely be interested in scouting a position. That's it for today's analysis. If you have any tickers that you'd like me to chart in my next video, please put it in the comments below. And if you have any ideas for things you want to learn, please put that in the comments below, as I am in the middle of creating a whole bunch of learning videos.